I read that you were up in Harlem performing. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, I'm on my way back now. Yeah.
Awesome. How was that for you?
That was great, man. It was good to be able to perform for some kids. You know, they were really into it. Like, they knew every word to my songs, and I signed some autographs. And, you know, it was actually a charity foundation that, you know, came into the school, and, you know, it was good to be a part of it. Yeah.
You are from Barbados, and
yes.
When I hear Barbados, I think, you know, beautiful island, cool breeze, but musically, I think of Rihanna. How has Rihanna influenced you?
Well, I think what Rihanna's done, she's actually, you know, helped to set the pace for, you know, a lot of other acts, you know, emerging from Barbados, like myself. And, you know, she's definitely, you know, helped us all. You know, she's encouraged us to, you know, achieve our goals. And, you know, if I've had a chance to talk to her personally, you know, she's just one of those really encouraging persons. Like, she's like, I like this song. Oh, yeah. But, you know, so just hearing that from her, you know, was really good. So she's definitely helped us a lot.
So are there any other artists out there that you look up to musically?
Musically, I look up to, you know, people like Stevie Wonder, huge Michael Jackson fan. Usher is one of my, you know, all-time favorites. Bobby Brown. But then on the flip side, you know, because I'm from the Caribbean, I listen to a lot of, you know, people like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Barris Hammond, you know, Sean Paul. I also listen to a lot of country music, a lot of alternatives. So, you know,
you're set to release your debut album called Can I this summer. What people may not know is that you have already released an album, but that was just in your native Barbados.
Yeah, I released an album back home in Barbados. I was about 16 years old, and I was rapping at the time. We're making the transition from rapping to singing, and I released independently. You know, me and my dad, you know, we funded the whole project on our own. We sold like 6,000 copies in Barbados.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, the population there is what, roughly around?
Yeah, like 275,000 people.
Yeah, so to sell 6,000 records is a great feat there for you.
Yeah, that's a pretty good start. And, you know, to mention people in Barbados, like, they don't buy records. Let me just put that in there. And also, you know, what I did, you know, to get me to this point, is I just created a huge fan base back home. You know, released a number of songs on the radio. You know, did a number of charity events, a lot of performances, you know, just to get my name out there at home. So I was able to, you know, make them sales happen.
What can you tell me is the difference between the debut album Can I that you have coming out this summer and your initial album? I know you mentioned, you know, you were rapping back then, but what can you tell me about Can I?
Well, you know, I know who I am. I know my craft is a lot more developed. As you know, as I mentioned, right now I know what I want to be. You know, I'm singing, and I've just been, you know, developing as a person up until this point, where, you know, this album is so much better, you know, creatively, and, you know, just song structure wise and everything. I think I've developed so much as a person since then that, you know, it really shows on the album. Is, you know, Life Through the Eyes of Jaicko, as, you know, as I see it, 18 years old, you know, coming from Barbados, you'll have a good understanding as to who I am as a person.
Awesome. Well, we're going to throw it back here a bit and kind of dive into your past.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about your musical background?
You know, I grew up around the whole musical environment, you know, through the likes of my father. He had, like, a really popular nightclub band in Barbados. Like, he'd go out and perform. Actually, he got a lot of gigs, like, in places like Germany and stuff, just from, you know, his driving force with the whole band and everything. So, yeah, I get to, you know, just growing up around that whole environment inspired me to, you know, to want to do music. Like, I just wanted to be like my dad. And then as I grew older, you know, so I knew it was something that I really wanted to do. I just loved music. Like, I'd always be playing music, singing, rapping, anything having to do with music I was always involved in. And, you know, I took piano classes, and, you know, I just took it from there. Just started to develop, got in the studio, started writing my own music, just doing my own music, and shop the deal. Capital made it happen.
How exactly did you get discovered?
Well, my discovery, you know, was comprised of a number of different things. You know, it started with me releasing songs. It started with my dad, first of all, recognizing my talent and being able to get me into the studio. And, you know, we started writing and producing and released a number of songs on the radio. And then, you know, I had like a manager And then, you know what I mean, my manager, we parted ways, and then I met with my other manager, Meredith Valiando, and she took me to Capitol. And, you know, the A&R over there, he wanted to sign me. Within 3 days, we had a deal.
What is your favorite part of the musical process? Is it the writing, producing, performing?
I think I love it all. Anything to do with music, I'm full into, like, and you know, I give the same effort in everything to do with my craft. Like if it's shooting video, like I'd love it just as much as performing on stage, because I think, you know, it's gonna show. And you know, when it's on record, as in, you know, with film and with on, you know, CD and stuff, it has to show. And I'm just as interested. So I'm just as excited about everything having to do with my music.
Speaking of tours and, you know, performing, you were able to go on the road with Neo. What was that like for you?
Oh, working with Neo, man, that was one of the most amazing experiences to see how he works. And you know, I got a chance to talk to him, and you know, he gave me some words of it. I was a lot younger at the time. I think I was still rapping. And he did a show back home in Barbados, and I got a chance to perform next to him.
Now, you've been referred to as an artist on the rise, and oftentimes the rise can come fairly quickly. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for fame and what could happen practically overnight?
I don't think anything could really prepare you. Like, I was just having a conversation with someone, and you know, we were talking about, you know, artists like, you know, Justin Bieber, who have become successful so fast, and how do you deal with that? You know, the paparazzi and all that stuff. And I don't think anything could prepare you for, you know, the change that your life, you know, your life endures or whatever. Because right now, I mean, like, it's changed so drastically, and I'm nowhere near the peak of my success, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't think anything could prepare me for that. But, you know, as far as, you know, things happen gradually for me, I think things have been happening at a manageable pace, you know, whereas I get a chance to, you know, appreciate things a lot more. And, you know, it's not like today I'm